All right, welcome everyone. I want to welcome you all to my database instructional video. For this assignment, I decided to focus on the database Nexis Uni. Nexis Uni is a really great database for anyone who wants legal, case, news, or business information. This database is perfect for a political science major, criminal justice major, or business major. It is also great for anyone who wants to stay current on legal news, recent cases, and business profiles. All this can be accessed from this one database, so this is a really great database to get all this information from instead of having to go to many different databases. So let's get into this database and start learning all the cool things that it does. So the easiest way to get to databases is to start at the Thomas Cooper Library website and click on Databases. From here, I just type in the search bar, Nexis Uni, and click Go. So you'll see that this database used to be called LexisNexis. LexisNexis and Nexis Uni are the exact same database. You may have heard of LexisNexis before, and if you have, then you know that it's called something different. We have a great blurb here about Nexis Uni, and you can really see from this blurb that this database does a lot. When I click on Nexis Uni, it takes me to this really aesthetically pleasing home page. I'm going to focus a large portion of this instruction video on the home page because it has a lot of unique and neat features of Nexis Uni that are found here. As I go through each feature, I'll do sample searches so you can see what everything does. Go into this database too much, I first want to point out the help area and the tips area. The tips area just opens up this little browser, gives you just some good information on segments, connectors, how to search with attorney, or how to use and or not. Just some little tips there, and that is really great. And then help opens up another little browser, and it gets really specific. There are these folders, and in these folders are so much information. You just open it up and it gives you everything you need. It will give you step-by-step instructions on searching, on saving information, and just kind of very specific things about Nexis Uni. So that is that. I just wanted to point that out. But the next thing I wanted to point out is this main search area right here. This is just where you want to do a simple search. You just use your normal Boolean operators and click enter. So that is really easy. But let's just say I want to do a search on Juul and underage vapors. I can just search in all of Nexis Uni and click enter. And we'll see that there are only a few news articles on this topic. Let's do vapor, not vapors. And that gives me a few more news articles. I can click this snapshot area and see what type of articles and documents I'm getting with this search. I'm really only getting news articles because it is very specific, because I'm adding in underage vapors. Let's take out this and just do Juul. So here I get a lot more, and I can do snapshot again. And we'll see that I get a lot of news articles, some law reviews and journals, a few cases, some Canadian cases, and just a lot of stuff. So if I'm not really sure what I want, but I say, well, there's a lot of news stuff, let me also see the cases. I can do that. I can just click on cases and see what is happening. So this is great if I just want to do something really simple. But I could also edit my search a little bit more. I can narrow it in this search. So let's say I want to do Juul with news. And then I also want to look just at editorials and opinions. It'll tell me how I'm searching it, and I can search. So I get 142 editorial and opinions on Juuls. And then I can, let's say I want to get rid of all this and just do cases. And I want to see if there are any cases that relate to South Carolina. Because I saw earlier that we did have cases with Juuls, but are there any with South Carolina? There aren't. So that's good to know. And I can just quickly take that away and get back to my cases. And I can see, okay, this was with South Dakota, not really what I want, but that's fine. Let's just open it. And with Nexis Uni, everything is available. There's nothing that's not available. I don't have to request anything, get special access. It's just all here for me. I can export the citation, and this is really good. I would always, of course, double check, but with cases and stuff, it might be a little hard to know how to cite. So this does it for you, and it's great. And then I can quickly print from here, email, download, and go to my Google Drive. And that is really cool. If you do use Google Drive, everything can just be kind of synced there, and you don't have to like download anything. It's just on the cloud for you. So that is great. And I can search within all of the Nexis Uni documents, go to a specific page if I know a page I'm looking for in a case. I don't really know anything right now about this, but it has everything I need, and that is really great. Okay. Now I want to look at the advanced search feature. And when I click on it, it takes me here. And I think the advanced search feature of Nexis Uni is one of the best advanced search features ever. I think it's amazing. It's easy. Anyone can use it without really understanding how to do complex searches and get a really complex and specific search. So I want to first point out this use connectors area, and this is just helpful if you want to know, like, what does the quotation marks mean? What is and? What would I use this exclamation point for? You don't really have to know that in here to search, because when you search in terms and you specify if you want all of these terms, any of these terms, this exact phrase, exclude these terms, it does it for you. So let's look at a search question. I actually got this the other day at the Furman reference desk. So I had a student ask me about the HIV and AIDS epidemic of South Africa, and she is looking at how the media is portraying this in the US and in South Africa. So she wanted to compare news articles. So I walked her through this process. I took her to the advanced search option, and I want a specific content type. I don't want to just search everywhere. I want to search news. So I go to news, and it will only give me news articles. And from here, I have terms. And she's looking at HIV, AIDS. So it's any of those terms. I just type in the two words I'm looking for, add it, and it puts that or in, and it puts in the parentheses. Super, super cool. At least I think it's cool. And then in this exact phrase area, we'll do South Africa, because we're specifically looking at South Africa, and it puts it in the quotation marks, and it puts it add in and in for me, and there we go. That is great. This document segments field, we're not going to use that right now. We'll look at it in a little bit, but it is really great because in a news article, Nexis Uni has labeled everything. So headlines has something, title is something specific. So here is a segment example. So this is an example news source that you can get from Nexis Uni. And this is what they consider the headline, title, and lead sections. This is the publication. This is the headline and lead section. So if you only want things to show up in this headline and lead section, then you should definitely include that in here. But for this case, she just wanted to look at how the media is portraying this. So we are going to click the search bar, and we see that we get a ton of news articles. So she wanted to see how the US and South Africa were looking at this case. And so I want to limit my search to geography by document. So I want to see what is Africa saying about my search in their news articles. So I've narrowed it to Africa. And then I also want to do the same. I go back to geography by document, and I do Southern Africa. And this specifically gives me Southern African news sources. It's still a ton, so we can limit the date. we can limit a lot more. People, practice areas, language, sources, it's really great. So we see that we still get a ton of articles, but this is a good place for her. And then let's say she wants to look at this, but we also want to look at the US. So we're just going to exit these narrow by fields. And like I said, she can save these articles to her drive. So when she finds an article, she can just send it to her drive and then look at it later. And then we want to do North America also. So once we click North America, then we can go back to geography by document and do US. So this is really great. She can figure out how the two different countries are looking at the HIV/AIDS epidemic in South Africa from Nexis Uni. And this is wonderful. So that's what I would do. And all right, so I want to go back and do another advanced search with you guys because there are just so many cool things. So I want to do a case, and cases, this will be really great for law students or even political science majors in a law class. So I can do a general term search. If I want to just see what are some cases that have involved, I don't know, maybe we could say like marijuana. I'm not so sure. We could really do anything. Marijuana, e-cigarettes, alcohol, whatever. But the document search is really great. And if you aren't super familiar with legal cases and how they're structured, this will give you a breakdown. What is a summary? It shows you what a summary is, the head notes. I mean, these are things I'm not super familiar with, but I can figure it out by looking at this sample. So I know, okay, this is a party name. And maybe I have a student who's like, I want to know what has happened with, you know, this celebrity. Have they been involved in a case? So I could, you know, go and search for a party name or with a specific attorney. So my dad was an attorney. So let's see. So I'm going to search in cases, and it adds in what I'm searching, attorney Blaine DeSantis. So that's there. So we can search for a specific attorney. If you have a student who's like, I want to know all the cases that this person done because I'm doing some type of project on them. So here are all the cases that pop up with this name. Obviously, it's not perfect because Paul, William, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So you can just click on the article or the case in this instance and see everything here. So this is great. This is perfect for someone who wants cases, information about cases, and if they know exactly what they want. So that advanced search is really cool. And then one more thing on this homepage that is cool is a guided search. So this is really nice and easy to use. It's good for just some general information. You can search just by publication. So if I just want to see, you know, what is the New York Times? What is the New York Times saying about marijuana? If I can spell that. There we go. So what is the New York Times saying about this? I mean, a ton of stuff again. So I can limit it, you know, when are they talking about the most? So you see we have this peak here pretty recently. So that is great, and I can sort by the oldest. What is the oldest article that the New York Times has written about this in 1980? So that is really cool if I'm doing a topic on the history of an issue or a history of some type of publication, and that is really great. So there is one more really neat feature to this homepage, and it is this Discover Topics. This is really great if you are in one of these specific fields and you want information. So when I click on business, it takes me to a different homepage, and the search, this home search will be the same as the previous home search. But we have a different little image here. We have key topics that I can look. So if I'm really interested in net and tax reform, I can open that up, and that didn't do what I wanted it to, tax reform. And I can see news articles on tax reform in this business area. but so in this, Nexis Uni considers this key topics in the area. And then there are these little windows within this page. And these are, according to Nexis Uni, important topics in a business field. So I can do company searches, like their example, Microsoft. I can do the company dossier, and that gives me specific company profiles, recent business news, featured publications, my search history, and then recent Supreme Court cases, law review articles, and blog posts. So this is great for someone who just wants current and up-to-date information on just general business. And we can go back and we can do this for criminal justice and political science. And they look very similar. They'll have the same key topic, different key topics, but the same concept. Key topics, different little windows that are specific to these subject areas. And this is great for people, majors in this area who want to stay up to date on what is going on. And one last thing I do want to point out is this little menu area, and you can just go straight to the home. You can go to the 3 discover topics right here and company dossier. So this is a really neat feature. I want to look at a company. So let's say I want to look at KUKA, which is a robot company. And they are public. Just type in that. It's the first one. And we see that we get a snapshot of the company information. I can see their address, their yearly financials, their executives, their business description. I can get into so much specific information. I can look at the industry overview, any news cases on KUKA. And this is really great if you are doing a project on a company or you want to know what a company's up to. I mean, it has everything here. So if you know you want to do a company, you can find news cases and their financial information, executives. It is really great. All right, so that is really all of Nexis Uni that I wanted to show you. It was a lot. I went a little over. I hope you guys don't mind. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this was informative. There's just so much on this database. It was so hard to get it down to just 15 minutes. If you need any further clarification or any more help on Nexis Uni, because you think it's super cool like I do, please feel free to email me. You can find my email on Blackboard. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you do my search assignment, I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's not too hard. But thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your semester and happy holidays, everyone.